Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Manish. Yeah. So let's wait for 2 more minutes before we start. I think still people are logging in. So let me just see who are all there. Akbar, good evening. Gaurav, good evening. Girja Madam, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Raghu, good evening. Umesh, good evening. Prasad, good evening. Yeah. So it's 7 o'clock now. Let's just wait for 2 more minutes, then start the session. I think people are joining in. Let's just wait for 2 more minutes. Shared my screen. Yeah, as the participants are joining in, are there any questions with respect to yesterday's session? With respect to order to cash management? So if there are any queries or questions, this is the right time to ask so that we could understand your query and help you to get the answers.
This is Raghu here.
Hi,
Honestly, I'm finding too difficulty in managing my timings because of the food supply what we are doing.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
coming morning in 6 o'clock and I'm going till now. I'm sitting in the office and taking your class now. So since I'm not practicing practically, so as a result, it's more of like for me knowledge session than that of actual practice.
Okay,
I
okay.
think once when we are implementing Tally in our company, I think definitely I will get back to you, and I require a little bit more support that time. This
Okay.
is more of like my knowledge in the understanding of entire TallyPrime.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, we are ensuring that these videos are available at any point of time you want. You could just go and view these videos. Okay, we
Yeah.
are completely recording all these sessions.
Yes.
Okay, and for your office, if you need any specific implementation, we are always there. You could call us.
Sure,
Okay,
sure.
we could provide
No,
the
definitely we need.
support
Definitely we
solution.
need. I am actually I was already in the process of finalizing at least one
Yeah.
silver for me to maintain for my company because it helps a lot for managing your inventory, entire financial
Yes.
accounting.
Yes.
So
Yes.
at
Yes.
the same time, I need to get back to you one guy who can able to put these things for my company.
Okay.
Because since it is small, I am not really worried much. Now it is slowly growing. Now I am
Yes.
finding difficulty in managing the entire thing. So
Sure.
definitely I'll get back to you, sir.
Sure.
Since a lot of time you're asking a lot of questions, sorry,
No,
I
no,
personally
no problem, no problem, no
feel
problem,
that
sir.
we are just, I'm just following your entire process rather than, when you don't practice, you don't get actually the question. So,
Correct.
yes,
That's true. Okay.
thank you.
Thanks, Raghu. And others, are there any queries or questions? And as Raghu told, it's very critical that you practice. Okay, if you don't practice whatever you are learning, okay, then it is just like seeing one movie. Okay, so after this session, if you don't practice, you also forget. Okay, then whenever you need, you might not be in a position to recollect. So I recommend each one of you, please practice whatever you have learned. Okay, just create a demo company, just practice for half an hour so that you put your hands into it, you will understand in a better way. Okay, so let's start today's session. So today the topic for the day is purchase cycle management on TallyPrime. So yesterday and day 4 we saw with respect to the sales processing, order to cash. Okay, today we will discuss on purchase cycle management. So when a purchase process happens in an organization, how the purchase process happens in an organization, and how could we ensure that the orders are maintained in tally and we start linking that orders to the receipt note or the GRN, what you call the goods receipt notes, okay, and the bill, okay, and that follows up with the payment. So in any of your organization, do you have the purchase cycle management, and how do you do that? So are you using an Excel or any other applications, or are you doing it on Tally, or you are manually tracking it? Is there any organization who raises the purchase order for your supply for your suppliers to supply the material? Okay, so Bijoy is doing, Shivu, Mulder, they are raising the purchase order. Okay, Narendra, you are raising the purchase order. I know Shivu, they are raising the purchase order from Tally. Mulder is doing purchase order from Tally. How about Bijoy? Are you doing it manually or on Excel? How do you generate the purchase order? And Narendra, how do you purchase the how do you generate the purchase orders? Okay, so Narendra is doing on Excel. Bijoy, you are doing it manually. Okay, fine. Okay, so there are a lot of combination of participants. Okay, we know Shivu is doing it on Excel on Tally, while Bijoy and Narendra are doing it outside the system, outside the Tally system. Okay, so today the topic of the discussion will be on purchase cycle management, and why purchase cycle management is required, and how critical it is for you to track the purchases, the stocks, and everything. Okay, so let's move ahead. Okay, so what I have done is, okay, so the purpose of the training to ensure that the participants learn TallyPrime, implement in their business, thereby increasing efficiency and eliminating duplication of work. Okay, so in purchase order management, as we saw in the sales order management in the previous session, in the purchase order management, actually it starts before purchase order also. It starts with indent in few of the organization. Okay, so indent is basically uh, those who require the products or those who require the materials, they actually raise an indent. It is called request. Okay, request for product. So they raise an indent. Based on the indent, if there is a separate purchase team, okay, they look at the requirements. First, they check with this stores department whether the materials are available, and then actually they, if they find that no, the materials are not available and they need to procure, then they discuss with the suppliers, understand whether the specifications requirements are available. Okay, then they ask purchasers, suppliers to send quotations, okay, for the supply. Okay, so they compare the quotations and place the order with the right supplier. Okay, then once when the order is placed, based on the order, the supplier supplies the material which you take in to your stocks in receipt note, or we also call it as GRN, goods receipt note. On receiving of the material, most of the time the material also comes with a purchase bill. The supplier would have given his invoice, okay, his sales invoice, that will become our purchase invoice. Okay, so that comes with the purchase invoice that gets accounted by the accounts team and follows up with payment. So how you need to look at is, you need to look at especially the purchase order management based on different kinds of business organization. So the best way to look at is broadly classifying. There are three kinds of businesses. One, the trading business. Second, the manufacturing and the trading business, which also includes trading. The manufacturing business, which also includes trading. The third is service business. Okay. So first, let us take the trading business. In trading business, what happens? They are just trading the material. They buy and sell. Okay. So in that case, it's typically whatever the product that they buy, they are selling the product. So whenever they require the material, they will order, okay, get the material, and they will sell the material. Okay. Then the second kind of business is the manufacturer. Okay, in a manufacturing organization, purchase order becomes much more critical. The reason being, the materials will be required for production. The material is required to produce an item. So whenever you buy, you are buying a raw material. Okay, and if the materials are not available, your production will stop. Okay, so the cost will go high. Say example, one day if the machine doesn't work, if the production stops, you will have a big loss. Okay, the cost is going high. Okay, so in a manufacturing organization, this purchase order management will become much more critical, because the consumption happens by an internal department, by the production department. While in a trading organization, when you purchase, it is getting sold, that's all. Okay. And when we move to the service organization, in most of the time in the service organization, they will not have any purchase orders at all, because generally they don't buy any item. They are into service. Example, it's an advocate's office, or it's a medical practitioner, or it's a chartered accountant's office. These are all professional services that they provide. So they don't require any materials. Okay, apart from their internal consumables, they don't require any other material. So there, the purchase order might not be required. Okay, so we will do one thing. We will take the same examples of what we took yesterday. Okay, and write the purchase order, build a purchase order in Tally. Okay, then compare it. Then we will also look at, because in the yesterday's example, what we looked at was typically a trading organization. Okay, we will also look at one manufacturing organization and say how the purchase order, how the purchase order helps in the manufacturing organization. Hope this flow will help you out. Okay, so let's move on. First, let us look at from a trading organization perspective. Okay, so I'm taking the same examples of what we took in the last sessions for the order to cash management. Okay, so in the purchase cycle management, it starts from purchase order. Okay, before purchase orders also there might be indents, but in Tally you cannot have the indent management. Okay, so we are starting with the purchase order management. Okay, so first the purchase order will get issued to a supplier. Then the supplier supplies the material, which we account under receipt note or goods receipt note, GRN, what we call. Along with that, you will also get a purchase bill that needs to be accounted in your system and follows up with the payment. Okay, so let us take the same examples of what yesterday we took for the sale order management or the order to cash management. And now let us look at the purchase order. Okay, so let us just get into Tally. So this was order to cash. This is the data that we were using yesterday in the previous sessions. Okay, so how many transactions we have? We have some 4 delivery notes, 3 receipts, 5 sales, and 4 purchase orders. Okay. So now with the same data, let us start building the purchase order management. Let us start with the purchase order. So now I need to place an order. So let me take the same example, the coconut oil and Sony TV. So we need to purchase it, right? So we need to purchase from our suppliers. So I am placing an order. Then based on the order, the supplier is supplying the materials. Okay. So let me take, let me start with the purchase order. I'm just changing the date to 1/4/21, 1st April. Okay, now it is a purchase order. So I'll just go to purchases. So this is disabled because you have not enabled the purchase order. It is disabled. So just go to other vouchers. Okay, click on show inactive. Okay, it will show you the purchase orders, material delivery note. Okay, receipt note, orders. Where is purchase order? Purchase order. Control F9. So it is asking, do you want to activate purchase order? Say yes. The purchase order has got activated. On 1st of April, I'm placing an order. Okay, so before placing an order also, first let us look at the report, what is available. So you will be able to correlate that. So if I look at the stock summary, okay, I have 110 liters of oil and 28 numbers of television. Okay, if I look at the opening balance, inward, outward. So look here. So my coconut oil opening balance is 500 liters. I have sold 390. Okay, so now let us look at the purchase cycle. And Sony, I have 35 numbers in the opening balance. Currently, I have only 7 numbers. Okay, now let me look at the purchase order management. So I'm just going to the purchase order, 1st of April. I'm placing an order on Mangalore Oil Supplies. He is our supplier. So I'm just creating him under sundry creditors. Okay, so from Karnataka. Okay, all these details are fine. Okay, so 10 days credit. Okay, all other details I'll update at the later stage. Order number, example, I'm just specifying 1001. Okay, so what order I'm placing? I'm placing for coconut oil. Due by what? By 3rd, I need quantity 100 liters, 150 rupees. Okay, it is picking from the cost of the goods. Okay. Then again, I'm saying by 7th of April, I need 400 liters more. So you could have multiple delivery schedules. Okay, since the Mangalore supplies only the coconut oil, I'm not placing any other orders on him. Being orders placed. So I place the purchase order. Hope this is clear. Now, if I look at my stock summary, is there any change in my stock summary? Let me just go to stock summary. Still, it remains 110 liters only. So there is no inward because the entry what we made was only purchase order. It is just a commitment. We are saying we want to purchase from you, but he has not still supplied. It is just a commitment what we have created. So it doesn't affect your stock position. Okay. So now let me just go back to the transaction. So here you could look at here. I can be on the same report. I need not escape and come out of the report. I could still click on go to and say show opened reports. Okay, so it is just showing open reports, the voucher and the summary. So I'll just go to voucher. So I'm back in the voucher. Okay, so my stock summary is still open. Okay. Now I'm placing one more order. Say example on 2nd of April. I'm placing one more order on Sony India for purchase of Sony TV or the Sony distributor. Okay, so I have one Sony distributor, okay, by name Sushant Electronics. He is my supplier, so he comes under sundry creditors. He's supplying the material. You could give all additional details, all the details. Okay, so 15 days credit 1002 Sony TV. By 3rd of April, I need 5 numbers. Cost is automatically taking. Okay, by 5th of April, I need 3 more numbers. Like that, you can go on giving the schedule. By 10th of April, I need 5 more numbers. Example, I'm just giving the schedules. Okay, similarly, I could update if there are multiple items. Orders placed. So if I just go back to my stock summary, show open reports. Sorry, show opened reports. Stock summary. So there is no effect. Still my Sony TV remains at 28 only. You could also look at the inward, outward and everything. Okay, enter. It is showing only outward because we had done the sale entry, not the purchase. Okay, now let me come back. Now I have placed the order. Say example, if you want to print this, you could go to that order. Control P is for print, shortcut key, and you could preview. So this is how it shows your purchase order. Purchase order placed on Sushant Electronics. Okay, and it's also giving you the delivery schedule. 3rd April 5 number, 5th April 3 number, and 10th April 5 numbers. This is what I want them to supply by those days, those dates. Sorry. Hope this is clear. Okay. See, one more thing I'll show it to you. As since we are looking at the invoice and the orders and everything. Okay. So now, example, this is showing us MCS order to cash. That is my organization name. I don't want this MCS order to cash. I want the organization name as Medha Consultancy Services. What I could do is I could just go to alter the company. Here in the mailing name, I can change this. I could give the address 116/1, 11 Cross, Malaysia. I could give all the details. 651,580. What I am. Okay. So now if I just give these details, go back to my order, print. Now you could see it has changed. Okay, so all the masters, it's speaking from the master. Second, I also require my logo to be printed on this. Okay, if you need a logo to be printed, okay, you could also get the logo to be printed. Say example, I have my logo somewhere. I'll just check where my logo is if I want to insert the logo. Okay, so I think I have my logo in TallyPrime folder. Logos, yeah. No, this is not the logo. Let me just. Yeah, I have my blue logo here in JPEG or BMP or whichever the file format. Okay, I could just have, say I'm just showing you. Okay, so I have one logo here. This is my organization logo. So I want this logo also to be printed. Okay, while printing my order or invoice or whatever it is. So how do I do that? So I know where in which path it is. Okay, so I'll just copy this path. Now, if I want to print the logo at the organization level, okay, I could just go to help. Okay, then go to settings. Click on display. Logo, it is not here. One second. Help. Manish, where to configure the logo?
Sir, gateway of Tally.
Okay.
Just come to print.
Oh, I could
From the
directly.
gateway of Tally, sir, not from the social level. It will not be.
Okay, gateway of Tally printer.
Yes, sir. Print.
Okay, here. Okay.
Configure.
Configuration. Okay, sorry. Yeah, you could just go to print and click on configuration. Okay, here you could specify include logo. It is specified as no. Click on enter. It will make it as yes. Okay, then specify the path where you have saved your file. So I'm just giving the path and I'm giving the file name. MCS logo blue. Example, I'm just taking this JPEG file. Okay, and I save this. Now I go to print. Okay, configure logo is enabled and it has automatically taken the path. So now if you just click on preview, you get along with your organization logo. So this will be very helpful if you are sending the order on mail. Okay, you could just export this to a PDF and send it or email. That's also very simple. Okay, so you could just export this, Control E for export. Okay, and configure this in which format you want to send. Say example, I want to send it in PDF format. Save it in PDF format. File name, test view, export. Look here, it's available on your PDF. Now you could take this and mail it across. Hope this is clear. Okay, so let's move forward.
Sir, it is the same process for invoice also, right?
It's the same process for invoice. Once when you have done this, the example we have invoice, I'll just show it to you. Okay, we had few invoices. We have invoice here, Olympic sports, right?
Yeah.
So print, preview, you got with your logo.
So it's one-time setup.
One time.
Got it.
Okay, so now what we have done is we have created the purchase order. Okay, now if you look at the reports, so stock summary, there is no effect. But if you go to reports on inventory books, you could look at purchase order book. It will show all the orders that you have created. This is report number 1. So I have created 2 orders, it is showing here. Second report is basically my statement of inventory, purchase order outstanding report. So what is the outstanding of the purchase order? So my current date is, it is showing us 2nd of April. Okay, so if I look at the current orders, look here, because the period is from April to 10th June, it is looking, right? So when I look at all order, it is giving order wise, item wise balance of outstanding. So order number 1001, coconut oil, 100 liters to be delivered by 3rd of April. And it is overdue by 68 days because the last date of transaction is 10th of June. Again, 400 liters to be delivered by 7th of April. Sony TV, 5 numbers to be delivered by 3rd of April, 3 numbers to be delivered by 5th of April, and 5 numbers to be delivered by 10th of April. This is my order outstanding report. Hope this is clear. Okay. So now I could also go ledger wise and see for Sushant Electronics how many orders are pending. 13 TV supplies is pending from Sushant Electronics. I've placed an order, but still I have not received the material. Or you could also look at the same report from for Mangalore Oil Supplies. 500 liters is pending. Okay, so this is one report. Or you could also look at item wise. So for a particular item, on whom all I have placed the order. Okay, it will show that. Okay. And for a stock group, if you have group wise, you could look at the group wise product of which you have raised the order. Hope this is clear. Now let us get into the second stage of our flow, which is receipt note. Okay, we are receiving the material. So stores is receiving the material. Say example on 3rd of April, stores is receiving the material, so they are updating the receipt note. So that is also disabled now. Okay, so I'll just say receipt note, enter. It is asking, do you want to activate receipt note? Yes, I want to activate. On 3rd of April, I have received the material from Mangalore Oil Supplies. Against, it is showing me all the pending orders. Okay. So example, let me do one thing before we do this transaction. Let me create one more order. Okay. So let me just go and create one more purchase order. Okay. On 2nd of April on Mangalore Oil Supplies. Okay. 1003 coconut oil. It has to be supplied by 8th of April. 200 numbers. Okay. Then also have sunflower oil. I'm just creating one more product, sunflower oil, that's also in liters. Okay, alternate number not applicable. Okay, so this by 5th I need 300 liters. So there is no this thing, I had not specified anything, so I'm just giving it is at 165 per liter, 49.5. So I just placed for 2 products. Okay, being order placed. Now, before we get into second stage, you look at the summary. Only coconut oil is there since balance is there. Even sunflower oil was even not even listing out because there is no stock as such. Now, let us go to stage 2, receipt note. So now I'm receiving the material. So I'm updating the receipt note on 3rd of April. I've received the material from whom? Mangalore Oil Supplies. Now it will list out multiple orders. All pending orders are listing out. So now generally what happens is when the material comes along with the bill, and on the bill it will also be mentioned against which order they are supplying. So you should know against which order it has come. So I'm just clicking on order number 1 against that order. Okay. And if you receive a material for multiple orders in the same consignment, you could select multiple then and there only. Else you could have individual order wise receipt. So I just updated this. So it is saying 500 liters. Okay, it's saying the complete order value has come. No, I have not got the complete order value. So what I'll do is I'll go and make a changes to this. Sorry. Okay, tracking number is against. And I'll take the order number itself as tracking number. So I've received 100 liters, but I have not received this second consignment. I have just received only 100 liters. Okay. Fine. On 3rd of April, or let me take on 4th of April, sorry, on 4th of April, I am receiving material from Sushant Electronics. Now it is also showing this order, pending order. So how much material? 13 it is showing, but I have not received 13. I have received only the first lot of 5 numbers. So I'll just say I've just received only this first lot of 5 numbers, not the other material. I'll just say end of list, end of list. I received only 5 numbers. Okay. So we did 2 transactions of receipt note, one for oil, receipt of oil from Mangalore Oil Supplies, and second for receipt of TVs from Sushant Electronics. Now you look at your stock summary. So your oil has become 210. So why it became 210? There is an inward of material. 100 liters has come in. So I had an opening balance of 500. I received 100 quantity, 100 liters. I've sold 390 liters and balance is 210 liters. Similarly for Sony TV also, I had 35 in opening balance. I inverted 5 more, it became 40. I've sold 7. So balance is 33. Hope this is clear. You could drill down month level or you could drill down transaction level. Okay. So hope this is clear. We have updated the receipt note. We have completed stage 2 of the purchase cycle. The third is the purchase bill. Now, generally what happens, as I told you, most of the time, the material comes with the bill. The material is received at the stores, but bill is accounted by your finance team. So these two are two different departments generally. So when the material is received, okay, your stores, what they will do, they will check, they will update the GRN and they will put one stamp on the bill saying material received against, accounted against GRN number, so and so. That is what they will write. That document will come to the purchase department. Purchase department will account this bill. All right. So we will do that. We'll go to purchase account billing. Okay, again, I'll just change the date to 3rd of April because generally the GRN and the bill will be accounted in the same date. I'll click on purchases. Now, when I click on purchase, the supplier has given a bill. So it has a bill number, supplier invoice number. Okay, 004. Dated 3rd of April. By whom? By Mangalore Oil Supplies. Now you look at, it is showing the pending receipt number because I had taken the order number and the receipt number as one and the same. Okay, so I'll just select this receipt number. So it has automatically picked the order number for that and 10 days of credit, and it is taking 100 numbers quantity for your purchase bill. Against tracking number 1001, 100 numbers. This now should get accounted. So since the ledger is not there, I'm just creating purchase account under purchase group, 15,000 rupees. So I have accounted this bill, 10 days of credit. Purchase bill accounted. Okay. Now let us go back to the report once again and see all the reports. To start with the stock summary. Stock summary still remains your coconut Oil still remains with 210 liters only as the closing stock. Though you have done the GRN and the purchase bill separately, in your inward it is just picking only first transaction detail. So that has got moved from your GRN to purchase bill. So example I'll show you. Okay, now if you drill down coconut oil, it will give you the month-wise breakup. Okay, now if you drill down here, 100 liters have come in, which is showing here as purchase of 100 liters and sale of 200 liters. Yesterday we did this sale entry. Okay, because here it is showing us purchase bill versus if you look at Sony, there is 5 number inward. Go to April and enter. It is showing us purchase bill pending. In Sony, we have just received only the material, stores have accounted it, but the bill is still not accounted by the purchase team. Sorry, by the accounts team. So it is showing us purchase bills pending, bill to come. Okay. Now once when I make a purchase entry, automatically this will get converted as purchase bill. We'll see that. Okay. So before we see that, we'll look at few more reports. Display more reports. Inventory books. Purchase order books. It will show all the orders that has been placed. Okay. Next, in statement of inventory, you could go and see purchase order outstanding. How many orders are outstanding? You could see the item wise, or you could see the group wise, or you could see the ledger wise, or you could see all order at one screen. So now that 100 has already been delivered, 100 liters of coconut oil, so it is not listing out here. Other things are listing out. Even Sony, we received 5 items, 5 numbers. That is not listing. Only the 3 and 5 is listing because the Sony we had placed for 13 numbers. Currently it is showing only 8 numbers. So if you want to look at the item wise, you could go back and click on stock item and see only coconut oil. 600 is pending. It just shows only coconut oil. Or if you want TV, you could just go 5 and 3, 8 are pending. Hope this is clear. And one more report that you could see how the difference, how it appears is basically when you go to profit and loss account. Okay, you get into the purchase accounts. So here it is showing us bills to come. 5 Sony TVs, you have received the material, but bill is still not accounted in your purchase, sorry, in your books of accounts. Okay. So now let us also account the purchases. I'm just changing the date, giving the invoice number. Okay, 004, 4th of April, received from Sushant Electronics against receipt number 1002. See here, 5 automatically got updated against tracking number 1002, 5 numbers. This goes to purchase accounts, 120,000. Then this is 15 days of credit. So payable by 19th of April. Being purchase bill accounted. Control R is to recall the previous transaction in the narration. Okay. Now I'll just save this. Now let us look at the report once again. The first report that we need to look at is my stock summary. Sony TV. Okay. So just go back to configuration and enable your inward, outward, opening, everything. So Sony TV still remains 33 only. There is no change in the closing stock. But if you get into the month-wise detail, see now, earlier this was showing us bills to come. Now it is showing under Sushant Electronics as purchase entry. So that against the material receipt, we have also accounted the purchase bill. Hope this is clear. Now you go and look at your P&L. Under purchases, bills to come is 0. It has gone to purchase. Okay. The stage 2 is the stage 2 and the stage 3 is complete. This will follow up with the payments. So we need to make payments, right? So when we want to make payments, the best way that we make payments is first we will see whether is it payable or not. So if I want to look at the payable account, I could just go to payables, bills payable. Click on bills payable. It will show how many bills are payable to whom. Mangalore Oil Supplies, reference number 004. 15,000 is pending, due on 13th of April. So overdue by 58 days because we are on 10th of June today. Okay. Then 120,000 to Sushant Electronics. 19th of April was the due date. 52 days it's overdue. So we need to make the payment. If there are multiple lines over here and if you are not unable to understand it, you could just click on ledger wise, bill wise. It will give you all the bills under one supplier so that you know all how much total is pending to be paid. Okay. So now we are making a payment. So now I know the other way of looking at is go to ledger statement, display accounts book ledger, and say example Sushant Electronics. His balance is 120,000 we need to pay. Click on bill wise, FI bill wise. So it will show you this is the bill that is pending. Even from here, you could settle the bills rather than going to payment entry. Just select the bill. Okay, on the top it says bills selected for 120,000 rupees. Click on settle bills. On which day you're making the payment? Say example on 15th of April, I'm making the payment. How much amount? How am I paying? Through cash or bank? I'm paying through bank. Paying bills paid. Okay, so it has converted to your payment entry. Then just close this transaction by updating the relevant details. Instrument number, UTR reference number is what I have given. Being bills paid. So I paid this 120,000. Now outstanding is 0 over here. So against the purchase, you have made the payment and the account has become 0. This is one way of doing. If you want to do directly from the payment transaction screen, that is also possible. Say example, I will just go to the voucher. Okay, here I'll anyhow will have selected the payment. I'll just change the date to 2nd of May. I'm making a payment to Mangalore Oil Supplies through bank. Mangalore Oil Supplies, it will automatically show you here what is the balance. 15,000, it is showing 15,000 as the balance. Click on that. Then you could also enable the to pre-populate the bill details. Then against reference, you will see against bill number 004, 15,000 is pending. Now, example, I am making a partial payment. I am making only 10,000 payment against 15,000. Possible? Okay, so how am I making the payment? Due to your reference number. Payments done. Partial payments done. Now, if I want to look at the ledger statement, I could go to display accounts book ledger of Mangalore Oil Supplies. I could look from 1st of April till date. So I have a purchase of 15,000. I made a payment of 10,000. 5,000 is pending. I could click on bill wise detail. It will show me opening amount was 5,000, but balance amount pending amount is 5,000. Sorry, opening amount is 15,000. Balance pending amount is 5,000. You could just click on shift enter. It will show you both the bill and the payment details for this invoice. Hope this is clear. Is this clear? Any questions on this? So we have completed the complete cycle of purchase order to material receipt to bill accounting to making the payment. Varun. Sir, can we make the entry directly from purchase order to purchase bill after receiving the goods, right? What is the use of receipt note? Okay. Varun, you could do it. That's not a problem. Because my next example is the same thing what you are asking for. Okay. So there is a purchase order. Okay. You are entering GRN come purchase bill and you are making the payment. This is the second scenario. While you could do this also based on the business requirement, why do you need, your question is, what is the use of receipt note? Varun, what business you are into? Hardware, right?
Sir, I'm into manufacturing.
Manufacturing of?
Drip irrigation pipes and multi-film. That is plastic granule industry.
Oh, that's great. Then I need to talk to you to understand. I also require a lot of things. Okay, good, Varun. Okay, I'll tell you. I'll give you a scenario of why you require receipt note. So in your organization, okay, you purchase the materials, right? This drip irrigation pipes, collars, okay, various things. Now, let us assume that you have a stores where you are storing all the material and your finance accountant doesn't sit in stores. He sits in your office. Store is next to your office only. Okay, it might be a next shop. Okay, you have finance team sitting, you have a stores. Now, you have raised an order with your supplier to supply all this material. The supplier will not come and supply to your accounts department people. He will go to stores and dump all the materials. And there is one stores in charge who is there. He will just take the signature and he will hand over the invoice and he will move. Now the bill comes to the purchase department to account. Assume that he has supplied, so you have given an order for 1,000 pipes. Okay. Now the stores has taken the inward. Actually, he has bought the bill for 1,000 pipes also. When stores is taking an inward, they have found that 10 pipes are damaged. And they have returned it back saying, boss, I don't need this because these pipes are broken, it's damaged. Okay. Now the bill has come for 1,000 numbers, but actually you have received only 990 material. Okay. Now, when you account the purchase bill, will you account for 1,000 numbers or will you account for 990 numbers? This is where you require the receipt note. But if you say, no, sir, I don't have separate stores and all. There is only one person who is doing stores also, accounting also, everything. Okay, I am not organized like that. Then, yes, your first type will not be applicable for you. The second type will be applicable for you. Hope I have given the clarity, Varun. Okay. But absolutely you are right. Okay, if you don't have that separate stores, accounts and everything, okay, you might not find receipt note as required. You can directly make one purchase bill and close it down. Okay, so we look at that. So we look at the second scenario. Okay, so I'm placing one order. Example, I'm placing a purchase order. Shortcut key is Control F9. Okay, on 2nd of May, I'm placing a purchase order on Sushant Electronics for order number 1005. For item, I'm just creating one item. Pigeon appliances. Okay, so there is one product, okay, which is measured in numbers. Okay, so standard rate I'm not giving currently. Okay, so this by 10th of May, I need 10 numbers. Okay, which is at 2,250 per number, 22,500. Orders is placed. Now on 10th, the supplier has supplied the material. It has directly come. I don't want this receipt note at all. I want to directly make a purchase entry. It's possible. So I'll just click on purchase, change the date to 10th of May. Okay, now let us look at, okay, before making the purchase entry also, look at the stock summary. Are you finding pigeon appliances? No. So it is not updated in your stock. Okay, but if you go to display inventory books, purchase order book, it's available here on May because you are placed on 2nd of May. Okay, and if you go to statement of inventory and say purchase order outstanding for the item pigeon, yes, 10 number is outstanding, which has been placed on Sushant Electronics. Okay, then if you look at purchase bill spending, there is no bill spending because it is just only the order that is there. Okay, so now I'll go to purchase entry. I don't want this receipt note at all. I'm directly making a purchase entry. Okay, bill number I'm just specified 4343 of Sushant Electronics. I've purchased from him. Receipt note is not there. I'll say not applicable. Look here, order details are there. So 1005 was the order on which I placed on 2nd of May. I'm just tagging the order and accounting it. So directly I made a purchase from the purchase order, linking the purchase order, not the DC, sorry, GRM. Here in the tracking number, it is not applicable, specified as not applicable. Order number 1005. I received 10 numbers. Yes. Out of that, okay. So let me take the full this thing, 10 numbers. It goes to purchases. 15 days of credit being purchase bill accounted and materials received. I could just make this and close it. Now look at my stock summary. I've got pigeon appliances 10 number. Okay, just go to opening balance, inward, outward, everything. I have inward of 10 numbers and closing balance of 10 numbers. Hope this is clear. Now this will follow with the payment. So whenever it is due, okay, I look at Sushant Electronics statement and I will make the payment, right? So if it is due by 25th of or 28th of May, okay, so I'll just go click on payment. So I'm making the payment through State Bank of India, Sushant Electronics against bill number it is showing 343, supplier invoice number 22,500, or if you are making a partial payment 15,000, you could do that also through e-payment transfers, UTR reference number, bill partial payment done. Yes, hope this is clear. Okay. Now let us go and look at the statement of Sushant Electronics. You could also click on go to, okay, and say ledger. What do you want to see? Ledger vouchers for Sushant Electronics. This is the ledger entry details. Okay, you could specify for which, from where, what period to what period you want to look at. It will show all the details. So how much is pending to be paid? 7,500 is pending because we did a partial payment against this purchase. You just click on bill wise detail. It will show you 22,500, 7,500 is pending on 22,500. Hope this is clear. Okay. Let us look at without linking as we saw yesterday. Okay, I think I need to skip this. I don't want to show this. Okay, this we saw yesterday. Okay, then let us look at type 4 where there is an advance payment that you are making. Okay, so this in few of the cases you will be doing an advance payment. Let us look at how the advance payment works. Okay, so example, I'm just making one more purchase order. Okay, so control F9, the purchase order. Say example on 10th of May, I'm placing a purchase order on Divya Pharma for sundry creditors. Okay, what do I want to purchase? I want to purchase 1006 order number. I need to purchase RAM divisor. Yesterday we looked at it. Due by immediately I need. I'm placing an order on 10th and I'm saying on 11th I need a delivery of 100 numbers at 600 rupees. Okay. Now Divya Pharma is saying if you give me advance, I'll supply the material. Otherwise, no. Okay, so they are asking for 100% advance. Okay, so you could update that in your purchase this thing also. Payment mode of terms 100% advance. Okay, mode is online transfer 100% advance. Okay, you could just update that and save this purchase order, and when you print the purchase order you could see how it appears. So mode in terms of payment here, online transfer 100% advance, order reference number 1006, voucher number 5, RAM divisor. By 11th May it is due, 100 numbers at 600 rupees. Okay, now I need to make an advance payment for this. So what I'll do is I'll go to the payments, and now I'm making an advance payment against order number 1005, 1006, sorry, sale order 1006, paying through State Bank of India to Divya Pharma. So here it is showing what? See here, there is no bill currently. It is just only the order that we have placed. So what I'll do is I'll go to new reference and specify it as SO 1006. Against this, I am making the payment of 60,000. It's a 100% advance. 100% advance payments towards medical items or pharma items, whatever you might call. So on the same day, I made the payment. Now on 11th, they are supplying the material and I'm directly taking under purchase. Okay, before making the purchase, let us go and look at the stock summary of including the inward and the outward. So if you look at RAM divisor, there is 800 numbers opening balance. There is no inward because we have still just only placed the order, but we have not received the material. And outward, we already sold 500 numbers, so 300 is pending. Okay, this is one report. The next report is display accounts book ledger of Divya Pharma. There is a payment of 60,000 you have made. There are no other transactions. And if you go to bill wise details, why the 60,000 is made against reference number SO1006, sale order number 1006. This is an advance payment. Okay. So you could also specify, okay, since it's an advance payment, okay, you could also make this, sorry, rather than saying new reference, you could make this as advance against 1006. So look here, it will show as advance. If you click on bill wise details, this will show as advance payment. You have made an advance payment. Now, against this on 11th of May, you are receiving the material and you are accounting it as purchase. So click on purchase. Okay, sorry. Click on purchase. It's 11th of May. So now supplier has given his invoice. So there is an invoice number from Divya Pharma. There is no receipt, but there is order. Order is pending. Against this order, we are receiving the material. Okay, so this is one link that you need to give. This second link, so it has pulled automatically 100 numbers as whatever the cartels that you have specified. This goes to purchase account. Now, one more thing that you need to do is in the bill wise adjustment, you have already got this as advance. Okay, now you have to adjust against the sale order reference in the advance that you had picked. So click on against reference. It will show you the sale order reference. This is what you have already paid. I'm sorry, this is what you have already paid. Against this, you are accounting the purchase bill. So against reference, specific, give the link of your advance payment that you have made against the sale order number 1006. Being purchase bill accounted. Okay, now you look at display accounts book ledger, Divya Pharma. There is an advance payment. Against that, you have received the material and accounted purchase bill. Hope this is clear. Now, if you look at bill wise details, nothing is pending. Okay. Hope this is clear. Okay, so one more thing that I had told you, saying that this will be much more critical in a manufacturing organization because whatever you purchase is not what you sell. You are manufacturing. So you always purchase the raw material and sell the finished goods. So this, when you are placing a purchase order, it's always a raw material purchase order that you place. And when you are taking the sales order, you are always taking for the finished goods. Okay, so this we will discuss in detail when we take a topic of TallyPrime for manufacturers. There is a separate topic for manufacturing business. When we look at that, we will look at this example also. which will be much more relevant. And of course, for service business, you don't require the orders because most of the time they are only into services. They don't deal with products. Okay. So are there any questions on this? We looked at this, we had looked at the advance payment and we looked at the purchase bill accounting also. And if there are any balance, you could make the payment. Okay, so I'm through with this session. If there are any questions I would like to take. Are there any questions on today's topic that we discussed? And all of you, please share the experience with us. We want to understand, okay, your experience, and are there any improvements for us that we need to do? Okay, and this is about our organization. For any requirement on Tally, you could always contact us. Okay, and if you do not have any questions, okay, thank you. Again, we'll connect tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Okay, on the topic, stock reorder management in TallyPrime. It's a continuation of your order management. Okay, there is one critical information that you need to capture for reorder. Okay, and look at the how your material flow is happening. Okay, so we'll look at this reorder level management in tomorrow's session. On account while adjusting, Shivu, on account is when you do not have any bills. On account will not take any of the bill details, it will just take it as on account and it will not track in your outstanding. That is on account. That I think we discussed when we looked at the bill-wise adjustments, right? In the previous sessions. Shivu, if you are not if I have not still clarified your question, you can speak and ask the question. I'm not very clear.
Sir, actually, now adjust ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಆನ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ನಾವು ಬಿಲ್ ವೈಸ್ ನಮಗೆ ಕಾಣಿಸಲ್ಲ ಸರ್. ಅದೇ ಬಿಲ್ ವೈಸ್ ನಮಗೆ ಏನು ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ ಆನ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಇದೆ.
ಹೌದು, ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಆನ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಬಿಲ್ ನಾನು ಟ್ರ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ, ನಾನು ಬರೀ ಆನ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡು ಅಂತ. ನೀವು ಆನ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಬಿಲ್ ವೈಸ್ ಟ್ರ್ಯಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಬರೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಬರಲ್ಲ. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಔಟ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ರಿಸೀವಬಲ್ ಪೇಬಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋದಾಗ ಕಾಣಿಸಲ್ಲ ಅದು.
ದೆನ್ ನಾನು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆನ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ನನಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿಲ್ ವೈಸ್ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ಸ್ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಎಷ್ಟು ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಔಟ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ಸ್ ಹಾಕ್ತೀನಿ. ಬಟ್ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರಲ್ಲ. ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಹಾಕಿರೋದು ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರಲ್ಲ.
ಹೌದು, ನೀವು ಯಾವ್ದು ಬಿಲ್ ವೈಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆನ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀರೋ ಅದು ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರಲ್ಲ. ಅದು ಒನ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ತಗೊಳ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಟೋಟಲ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ.
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸರ್.
Sure, thank you. Okay. Are there any other questions? If there are no questions, we can log off. I'll be in this for 2 more minutes. If anyone has any questions, you could please raise those questions. Else, thank you for attending today's session. Tomorrow we will again connect at 7 o'clock. Okay, I'm logging off. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.